Talk, and today we've got a real legend in Empyrion
Oh,
today.
oh, you don't gotta say
We're
legend.
hold on.
All right.
Let me fanboy drool a little.
Oh, jeez. All right.
We got a real legend here in the builders community. I have the privilege of talking with JRandall, and you guys either know him or have never played the game. So I know that I was just talking with him earlier, right before I started talking, with going live here. My first base was a JRandall base. It was he just gave me the name of it because I can't remember all these names, but the Farpoint base was
Yeah,
my first
Far Point Outpost, I think it
Farpoint
was.
outpost.
Yeah.
Now I know that's in the game
Yeah,
because
I believe that one was put in.
because
Yeah, I guess as a POI, maybe. I don't know if it was a player base or not.
this season I went to one.
Oh,
And it was a civilian. It was a civilian base, and there's these NPCs standing around. I'm like, what are these guys doing in my base? But it was really cool to see it. So, anyways, what I'd like to do is ask you just a few questions. I know you've owned the game, you've played the game, and built for the game for a long time. When did you start?
Alpha 5, like the probably the end of Alpha 5, I guess, whenever that
Okay,
was. I would say it's about a good 4 years ago now,
okay, okay.
maybe a little more.
So you've been in the building game for quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, actually, when I first started, basically it was me and a
Mhm.
buddy would do like a weekend night LAN gaming thing. So we're always looking for
Mhm.
something, co-op and we were into the survival type games. So
Mhm.
found this game on sale for $9.99 on Steam, and it's like co-op and had pretty good like Steam user reviews. So picked it up,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
so I wasn't really interested much in the building aspect of the game when I got it. We were just doing, playing the game, and we
Uh-huh.
spawned in like some prefabs that came with the game, and like
Right. Right.
certain things. But then I suddenly I spawned in like one of the cheapest prefab CVs at the time. Once we had the resources and all that, and I'm like, man, it's not big enough. Like it needs more hangar space, and it needs this, and it needs this, and it doesn't have enough farm plots. And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm modding this ship, and then I just broke down like by myself because I didn't want to waste my friend's time.
Mhm.
Just in survival, like starting to build like some ships
Right.
and things. And what I spawned over here,
Uh-huh.
this is like one of my earliest
Aha.
ever
Nice.
SVs. Yeah, this was
Uh-huh.
like way back in the day.
Right. Right.
So yeah,
Is it
then I
okay if I
realized.
turn my light on just so I can?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's dark right now.
Yeah,
We're waiting for.
this isn't
Yeah.
and it, and here is my beefier version.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right
But
on. Right on.
yep. So you can kind of see the
Yeah.
origins.
Right
Um,
on.
and I'm just kind of going up the ladder from like the oldest stuff.
But
So after
even first builds though, I mean, it's not a brick. It's pretty, it's pretty cool
I
looking, you know.
at the time when I built all of these, I did not understand the all the blocks and things. So I didn't
Right.
know how to do like
Right.
even the 22.5 degree angles. I don't believe
Mhm.
if I
Mhm.
did, I got really lucky.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Hold
Nice,
on,
dude.
don't mind me. I'm going through my
No,
my
no,
list trying to figure out what
take
to.
your time. Now, do you have a background, an artistic background?
Well, not professionally, but
Okay.
I did back in the day. I got into making Unreal Tournament maps,
Oh,
like
okay.
for the original UT, and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
made a few, and some of them got pretty popular.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of people, and they were like uploaded on like the sites that would look at that stuff and whatnot. And
Right.
So I did like a bunch of this stuff, kind of like, and that was more like complete 3D, like world, like
Mm-hmm.
cat, that kind of thing, more like
Mm-hmm.
modeling stuff. But it was really low polygon at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and then I kind of got out of that and just did regular work, and then I went back into it on Unreal Tournament 3 and made
Mm-hmm.
a map that took forever, like six months to make the map. It was
Wow.
crazy. It was all custom though. Everything was custom. I wasn't using
Mm-hmm.
like the stuff that was in the game. It was like doing something that it didn't do, which was actually a Lord of the Rings based design. So
Uh-huh.
it was
Nice.
like lava and fire and wood and stone castle stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then, that was basically I always since like as early as I can remember, as like any game with like an editor, and I just love to like do whatever I could with it. And
Right.
then there's games before that, like the original like Doom and Doom 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is I think Hexen and Heretic,
I
Duke
remember
Nukem
Hexic.
3D.
I
Um,
think I still have Hexen. Yeah,
yeah,
Duke
yep.
Nukem 3D with the pigs.
Yep. I
Oh
actually made.
yeah.
I learned quite a bit on that one, but this was like it was either like the dawn of the internet, or I just didn't have internet. It
Mm-hmm.
was one of the two.
Do you remember
So
Redneck Rampage? I know we're getting
oh yeah,
tangential. Do
yeah.
you
I actually
remember that?
I do remember that. I did play that one. Yep.
We're really dating ourselves now.
Oh
Wow.
yeah. I know. This is some pretty old stuff here. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of the origins, and the one that was so killer though was Unreal, the game, not Unreal
Mm-hmm.
Tournament. Unreal
Mm-hmm.
came out, and first, it was like those new Voodoo like 3 graphics cards and everything, and
Right.
you started to get some really nice, looking graphics for the time, and good frame rate to boot, and lighting
Mm-hmm.
and all kinds of stuff that you weren't seeing in past games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I realized it had an editor,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and and this editor wasn't like restricted like those other ones. All were kind of restricted, so you're kind of working kind of in a 2D plane, but sort of 3ds.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't true 3D, and Unreal was. It was
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, make anything you want. Oh, and make your own textures for it too. Oh wow. So you
Mm-hmm.
can like do anything with it. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my attraction to that kind of thing. And I guess
Right.
yeah, when I was a kid, I my favorite toy was Legos. So it was,
I think everybody that loves Legos is drawn to Empyrion. It's just a
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's just a
It's
thing. Now, as far as what you do professionally, it's got to be something that's pretty meticulous.
uh,
It's got to be an eye for
it's
detail
it's
thing.
it's IT stuff.
See, that's I figure. I
Yeah,
figure.
so it's a variety of different IT things, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you do have a strong computer background. That's cool.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're looking at this is the Merc Mark One, and then we're
Yeah.
looking at the
It was
Mark
spelled
Two.
differently then. It was
Right,
spelled with a
right,
K.
right.
And this was my first little miner here.
Oh wow.
It actually worked.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It was a, but
Oh yeah.
I think this was like starting of Alpha 6.
Wow.
So
Old school. Old
that's
school.
where it was.
Right, right.
And then my first CV, and I actually do have this one on. Well, I have that EV1 on the workshop. It's one of the earliest things I've got
Yeah.
there.
And you're using
Um,
the legacy cockpit. Very cool.
oh well, that's all there was back in the day. So yeah,
Right, right.
you didn't get to pick. I'm looking for one other thing. I'm just trying to.
So
Oh yeah,
legacy was it. You had those pics of cockpits, and there you go.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yep. So after that, this was my first
Oh
CV,
wow.
and I built this in survival, and I used it in survival. So, but
Mhm.
this is predating O2.
Mhm.
So like
Mhm.
there was no like making your ship full of O2, and plants didn't die if there wasn't O2. It didn't
Right.
exist in the game basically, so there was no
Right.
ventilators. So yeah, on the interior of the ship you'll see like an open farm that wouldn't work anymore. But
Gotcha.
this is like my first CV.
That you flew in the game and attacked stuff and flew around and.
Yeah,
Had front
yeah.
end.
I was actually, believe it or not, into farming too. That's why I had so many
Yeah,
farming plots on these things. It was just like, hey, if you're gonna grow it, grow a whole bunch at once, you know. But
exactly.
yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, but this was
Wow.
like on this one. I was trying to make it look nice, so I was, you couldn't do custom colors either. That was not a thing in the
Mhm.
game.
Mhm.
And you'll probably notice like a lot of the decals are off. A lot of blocks
I
changed their
see.
rotation since this was built.
Gotcha.
So, but I was just kind of starting to play with, more of the blocks and trying to make interiors better and
Mhm.
messing.
Mhm.
I don't think I did much with lighting in here. No, but
I'm
yeah, that's how it came out.
I'm gonna check my field of view. I always want to make sure that I've got a nice field of view for folks so they can catch it all. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Nice. I'm gonna come through here. Oh wow. Yeah.
But believe it or not, though, this ship led to a lot of the other ships, like
Mhm. Mhm.
the Nomad and the Carapace and all
Mhm.
these other future ships. It was kind of
Mhm.
like early alpha, and this is how I like my crafting too. If you get down in the crafting room here,
Oh yeah.
it was back in the day. These constructor screens would perfectly line up to the block there,
I
so it
see.
looked right.
Right.
But the model changed,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it just it stopped working.
Mhm. So
But
looking
yeah,
at this right now, it's a little freaky for you because it's gone.
yeah,
It's updated everything, and it's not like, whoa, this isn't how I have used to have it, you know?
right. Well,
Yeah.
this happens a lot to a lot of different creations over time. It just
Mhm.
you build them, especially this. I know this ship was still Alpha 5.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the next one, this ship was a discovery for me because I understood the 22.5 angled blocks on this one, so it was
Mhm.
like a bit of a learning process.
Mhm.
So this was the Nebula MK4, and I was experimenting with top
Ah.
hanger doors and
Mhm.
like a more expansive open hanger with storage and stuff in it.
Mhm. Oh
So
wow.
yeah,
Nice. Oh yeah. Very cool.
you can see
Yeah.
the different shaping. It got away on the front from the box, and
Mhm.
uh, this is actually I kind of like this top hanger door,
That's
but
cool.
but I
Yeah.
also realized it was kind of a waste of space because I
Uh
was
huh.
like, man, then I can't park anything there.
Right. Right. Yeah, you can't put something on top that way.
Up. Anyway,
Wow.
all these ships here were basically, I released those, but I did it like later, and I think I released a whole bunch at once, and I didn't have like screenshots or anything when I did them. I
Mhm.
didn't really know
Mhm.
much about the workshop. Then I started looking at the workshop and realized there's stuff out there, and then I started building the ship that it made it up into the spotlight, and it
Mhm.
was like, and that is the Manicore
Mhm.
EX1. This was
Oh
I
wow.
built this one also in survival.
Nice. Now, what builders did you kind of get inspired from back in the day? Do you remember it?
Here's the thing.
Uh huh.
Very very early on when I built like these ships in survival,
Mhm.
I was not looking at the workshop. I mean, it
You did
wasn't
this
really
right fresh, just like this is how
right.
I'm doing it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I seen some of the prefabs that
Mhm.
were came in the game, and I don't know who made those actually, but
Mhm.
really old prefabs. But yeah, I really wasn't looking at the workshop much. I didn't
Right.
really understand what the workshop was. It was new to me. I never used a workshop. What's a workshop?
Exactly. Exactly.
you know, so
Wow.
the this ship was yeah this took me forever to build. It was done in survival.
Oh,
I did not understand symmetry. I
it's
didn't know there
got a
was an end key.
balcony. Yeah, it's got a balcony. This is
You know,
badass. I like it.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
you gotta
Stand
have a
out here
roof
and
house.
smoke cigars, you know?
Oh
Live
yeah,
life.
yeah. Like,
Oh, nice.
yeah, and this was my first like lounge.
Right,
It's
right.
basically I had so much room in the ship, I didn't know what to do with this area back here. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, let's have some fun. And I really
Yeah.
worked hard trying to texture this and make it pretty and everything. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, it's about how it came out. It's really dated at this point, but
Right,
then I
right.
think let's see what do we have over
Got
here? Oh
the
yeah, I had
gems.
a pretty big farm section in here.
Okay. Let's take a look in here. Oh wow, yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of farming going on in here.
That's not all of it.
Right
So
on.
the bridge, I built newer ships with similar looking bridges, I think. But yeah, the
Oh,
bridge I was
nice.
started doing more angled blocks and messing with the ceiling a little bit more on this one. So it was a big learning curve on this ship, and
Yeah.
it was a nightmare to build those front legs.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
saw
God,
that. I saw
I
that.
had a huge problem with that, and then uh, so and when I was building it too, I didn't understand symmetry, so
Hmm.
I was like putting a few blocks down here, then I was memorizing it going into the other side of the
Yes.
ship, and I I didn't know that I could delete stuff with the one key, so I was multi tooling everything. Um,
Do you remember the builder Goons?
Builder Goons.
His name was
Oh yeah,
Goons.
yeah,
His
yeah.
name was
I do
Goons.
think I remember that name. Yep.
He did a size 25 CV that I tried to repurpose for Reforged Eden, and I didn't know about symmetry, and I didn't know about.
Right, right.
Yes, I certainly sympathize with you. The memorization, the going back and forth, definitely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just did not understand that stuff at the time. So it was,
Hmm.
but so this ship went up, and it was like, wow, it did good too. A lot of people subbed it, and
Hmm.
I was like, wow.
Hmm.
But I was still thinking leg idea. I was kind of into the legs. So I after I built that one, I learned some lessons,
Hmm.
and let me get this other one up. And then built this ship. And this ship, I learned the N key and I learned symmetry. I still didn't. But
Ah.
yeah. So it went faster. Actually, this ship took probably less than half the time to build as the Manicore, at least.
Uh huh. Uh
Um,
huh.
and it's a little bit bigger ship yet.
Right.
And yeah, the good old Cerberus, and yeah. But
Hmm.
the thing is I've never actually used this ship in game because I was building so much at that point in time
Hmm.
that I shifted over to creative and didn't want to build in survival anymore because it was
It's a
took too
drag.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
you
drag, man.
so
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I didn't park this very well here, but
Eh.
yeah, the Cerberus. Now since this Cerberus, I literally did two kind of remakes of it. So
Hmm.
I did later on I did a like this is a size class 5, and then I did the Cerberus NG, which stands for next generation. This
Hmm.
PSV was planetary. Oh man, what does that mean? I don't know, planetary siege vessel or something.
Hmm.
I try to make all these little acronym thingies mean
Hmm.
something, but I
Hmm.
sometimes forget what they meant.
Well, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a state employee, and I can vouch for that statement. We forget our acronyms all the damn time. So yeah,
All right. Yep.
yeah, acronyms. What does this mean? I don't know. Just nod. Yeah. Oh wow. Got the
So
RCSs in it. Yeah. Very
yeah,
cool.
this one I really like the crafting area, and it was like roomy, and it had this big like it's almost like a Star Trek Enterprise front to it, kind of. Not
Ah, here
really,
we
but
are.
it's like all big
Oh
and
yeah.
round.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I see it.
And yeah, so and I started messing with lighting, I guess, or I don't know. It
Mhm.
seems like. I guess I didn't discover colored lighting yet. I just put in white lights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that came later. Well,
Right.
lighting was another thing that improved in the game, and they added that spotlight mode,
Right.
which so
Right.
you could do a lot more with different stuff there.
Right.
This one was big on farms too, so it has these two little farms, then it has the big one upstairs from the crafting area.
Uh-huh.
Um, and
Oh wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So again,
That's
big into the
nice.
farm plots.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing
And
wrong
then
with that. You gotta eat.
yep, yeah. It's been a while since I looked at some of these here.
It's very cool.
But yeah, after that,
I love the big windows, the cockpit area. I like being able to look out. That
oh, I
that's
do
real
too. I do
immersive.
too.
It's real immersive for me to be able to look out and see
Uh,
that. Yeah.
I do like that too. The problem with this game though, when you're especially if you're like building like newer CVs, with especially for Reforged, when stuff is tougher anyway, it's just like I haven't done this a super amount because it's always weak.
Uh
It's
huh.
always it's easy to get damaged.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
kind of sucks a little bit, but it depends on the build, I guess.
Right. Right.
So yeah, uh, did you want to see anything in particular, or you want me to just kind of keep it going in order here on like from the
Uh,
oldest?
well, I'll tell you, man, it's really a non-directed time for you just to talk about things you want to talk about. It's for you to direct to call the cadence of the show. Whatever you want to show, I like to look at. So, these have all been really good so far. These are your early vanilla stuff. This is the moldy oldies. So
Oh yeah, yep.
you bring in HVs, SVs, bases, CVs. I don't care. Space base. I don't get whatever you want to. And here's the thing. If
Yeah.
you feel that after our hour and a half or whatever you can do today, if you feel like you'd like to do more, I would certainly like to talk more. So you just keep that in your hat that you don't have to rush through in an hour and a half. And if you're willing to do this, and we don't have to do it next week, we can do it in a month. We can do it whenever.
Oh,
Totally non-directed.
so
So, but I just,
totally cool.
I want to
Totally
give you the
cool.
time to talk about. I'd like to hear about your, dude. I want to hear about your faction stuff. I want to just, but the thing is, you're busy. I know, you got a life to live, man. I'm not here to chew your ear off about builds. I just want to give you all the time you want to take. So,
Right, right,
yeah,
right. I'm just kind of strolling through this.
this is
That's
a
cool. I'll
Merc.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is the first workshop mark, the MX8,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and yeah, this one, I was pretty proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at it now, I'm like, I had some issues with it. I kept like the blockiness on the front. Like
Mm-hmm.
you see, like if you're thinking aerodynamics, and then all of a sudden
Mm-hmm.
you hit this wall like here and
Mm-hmm.
over here and stuff like that. So I was like, I liked how it looked from the top view like down, but
Mm-hmm.
then the side profile and the front
Mm-hmm.
profile I never really liked, never
Mm-hmm.
figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it bothered me so much that after I learned more, I built a new version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I took the same ship and I modded it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what it
Ah,
became,
okay.
the MX9.
Yeah, I
Um,
see
and you
what you
can see it.
did. Yeah.
But if you notice, like all the thrusters and the guns and everything are all in the same position because it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
the same ship. It's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
doing more with blocks, and there was more blocks at the time
Mm-hmm.
too because I think this came into play after there was block changes. So
God, there was
yeah,
an SV of yours that I used so much. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it. Lord have mercy. Uh,
Was it one of the Merc ones, or was it
no,
a cargo, or
it was an older SV, and it. Oh hell, you,
here's another
never
old
mind.
old one.
Yeah, but yeah,
MX3.
it wasn't a Merc one. It was one. It had a cockpit, but it also had a place you could walk in the back. I know that's like probably 250-year build, so I won't harp on it.
Hmm.
I should have been prepared to pull out my version because my
Oh no,
version was
it's not the one.
terrible.
It's not the MX5E, or
Maybe.
which is the no, the this one I believe is a prefab
Okay.
too.
Yeah, man, I tell you what. Give me just. I want to see if I can find the damn thing because.
I'm thinking
Oh
about the earliest ones. So was it an early one, or how long ago? I mean,
yeah, it was ugly. I mean, when I got done with it, it was ugly because I had no concept of blocks. I'm, I'm actually, if I find it, I'm scared to even pull it to show. But yeah, God Almighty, it was such a cool thing for me. It was, it really made me feel like a badass.
oh, nice, nice.
It was just I'm not going. I won't harp on, but it just clicked in my mind um,
Oh wait,
that it was
I
the thing
I,
is it was a
I forget.
round looking. It was a roundish ship, and
Was
it
it
had a
wasn't like the big one
no,
like the 15
no. Oh, those were cool though, man.
round looking ship.
It's don't worry about it. This isn't my show. This is your show. You
Oh,
bring
all
out
right.
what you want to talk about. If we talk again, I'll be
Oh
prepared.
no,
And
no. That's
it just popped in my mind, and here I am going down memory lane, dude. Sorry, but
no,
it really captured the magic. It was the first ship that I could put extenders in. You know what I mean? And I remember I
okay.
think it had laser drills on the front, and it was an SV. It was long. It was just really cool. But
Huh.
this is memory lane crap. Memory
Right,
lane.
right.
Oh,
Oh
this is
yeah.
cool though, man.
So yeah, SVs were definitely one of my most favorite things to build though
Yeah, they're
for a long
great.
time. It
They
was
need a clone chamber so bad. They need a clone
yeah,
chamber.
yeah.
I don't know why
It'd be
they
definitely
kept that.
helpful.
I don't know why they kept the SV from having a clone chamber. I don't understand why that was a thing.
I don't
You
know. I
know?
don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe if everybody keeps complaining more,
Uh,
they'll do that.
maybe so. Maybe so. But all these merc ships are so cool looking.
I have a lot of fun doing them, and
Yeah.
I changed the way I build too. There was a transition I made from like on the early stuff. I was pretty much all gray.
Mhm.
It was like
Mhm.
gray and a little bit of black here and there, and then I
Mhm.
started like adding more intense colors and like more black and stuff as I went,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
yeah, a couple different shades of gray, and then
Mhm.
yeah, it's been kind of an evolution on that. But
This is it. This is it.
the AME.
This is it. It is a Merc
Ah,
AME, dude.
okay.
I love this ship, dude. I
Oh,
loved
sweet,
it.
sweet.
I enjoyed, dude. I I did a taxi theme, and I painted it yellow, and around this area I had the checkers.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
oh yeah, it's just it me, I'm all about crazy colors, but dude, I really enjoyed this build a lot.
Oh,
This brings back such great memories, dude. Yeah.
oh,
And
yeah.
then shit got
I had a good
blown
time
up
building
on
this.
it, and then
Yeah.
it turned into a blocky mess because I didn't
Oh,
understand. As it took battle damage, it became a brick.
Right. No, I understand. Yeah. Yeah. So some of these, I imagine, they'd be a pain in the butt to like,
I was trying to get the
manually trying
transmissions.
to fix them.
Yeah, yeah. Because I didn't understand in my early game. Yeah, like leaving the system was foreign to me. So. But
Yeah.
that's a great one. The Merc AME. All right.
I was
That's a cool
auto
one.
miner extractor is what the AME stands for, and the
Okay.
idea, although it didn't have near enough storage in it, and I didn't realize
Right.
that it was at the dawn when they brought in weights and volumes when this was
Right.
built. So it was
Right.
just like this was a really new thing
Hmm.
with that, and the idea, and it actually works, is you have your auto miner and it's on the ground,
You
and
park
basically
up against it. Hmm.
yeah, you park up against it, but when you
Hmm.
walk out of here, you walk right up on this front panel. You
Right.
you you grab the loot and you jump
Yep.
back in and you fly away, and that's what it was all about. But I realize now that it only has like I think it's like 4K storage or something, which is
Yeah.
it's a 7K
Hmm.
storage, and it would need a lot more. I mean,
That's
just,
right. I called
just
mine the
that.
Pentaxi. That's what I did. I would go to auto miners and get Pentaxid, and I called it the Pentaxi. And painted it yellow. I
Nice,
remember
nice,
now. Yeah, yeah. Because
nice.
the front end was good for the auto miners. I remember that. The
Yep.
Pentaxi. Holy dude. This is such a blast. Just remembering that. Okay. That
That
was
is so cool that you like use like
yeah.
bunches of stuff, and that is
Yeah.
really cool to hear, and
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes you gotta wonder.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. The Merc Mav. That's
Uh,
got some rockets
it's a
to it.
missile assault vessel is what this one's.
Yeah.
So yeah, I broke the rules, with the weapon limits on this one. It was like the only one I did until Reforged Eden came around,
Mm-hmm.
in the server that we play on. But yeah, I used 12 rocket launchers, and they
Mm-hmm.
worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so much fun having that much power,
Right.
like hitting one button and you're shooting 12 shots at once. And
Ultimate Carnage. Damn it.
yep,
Damn right.
yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
That's
could just
cool.
keep going with some more mercs here. There's been a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
mercs
cool.
over
That's
time.
cool.
Um,
The Merc
so here,
Edition.
the Merc
There we,
Edition. So,
there
but
we go.
but, but they're kind of in a range. Like here is the lowest end starter Merc,
Oh wow.
the MX1. But even this little bugger's got an interior on it. Um,
Yeah, that's cool. Oh wow, man. Yeah.
so yeah, and all the stuff.
Right?
This was you can tell by the LCDs. This was back before there was the projector LCDs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you just had the placeable ones and stuff like that. But yeah, this was all about being cheap starter uh, SV,
Nice.
and then there's the a little bit more, a little faster, a little more guns. The
Mm-hmm.
MX2, more expensive of course too, but
Right, right.
you know. Again with an interior. This is one of my drone hatches were starting to become a thing
Yes.
on these.
Yes.
So yeah, I started putting drone hatches in all these different little SVs.
Well, the laser drill in vanilla was so OP. I mean, it was so good. It was
Yeah.
such a huge boost up, from the mechanical. Nice.
Oh,
You got some spots to put in additional guns? Yeah.
thought it did. Yeah, up front
Yep.
there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, threw on some rockets or something. It was
Mm-hmm.
all these were like really tied to CPU. I don't even know how they're
Mm-hmm.
playing out anymore. Kind of curious on that. Oh, the MX1's actually below CPU by about 1200. Ooh.
There you go.
Yeah, it could have more stuff. So
Yeah.
obviously, so every one of these mercs,
Mm-hmm.
well, most of them, there's like the AME and the MAV, they were different. They're like kind of a one-off thing, but the rest of them are
Mm-hmm.
all like that their numbers have to do with their size in relation to each other. I
Right.
guess you could say. So like the MX3, which is way older, is over here. It's a little bigger
Mhm.
than the MX2.
Mhm.
There was never a MX4, and then the
Mhm.
MX5 you've seen over there, a little bit bigger
Mhm.
yet.
Mhm.
Um, and then there was the after that the 8 and 9.
Mhm.
And then here is the 10. The 10 is getting a little bit bigger.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but pretty much all these Mercs had interiors. That was kind of one of the things. I always
Mhm.
try to make them kind of like you know plausible, like or
Right.
well, I
Right.
don't know. I just like having interiors and stuff like that. I was
Yeah.
just and then CPU. Oh, this thing's over. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah. High
this
five.
was before there was the CPU blocks on all
Mhm.
these too. So
Mhm.
my
Wow. Very
yeah.
cool.
And let's see, go to the 11. The 11 was the newest one besides the recent Renegade. Um,
Oh wow. Oh, it's got the door on the top for the drone hatch. Yep.
yeah,
Oh.
little bigger interior. That is
Mhm.
that is one thing that's really neat with SVs though, or HVs alike, is the small blocks. You can do such a
Mhm.
you know so much more block detail, in
Right.
a area
Right.
like like displaying a warp core or
Yep.
like and that is something I definitely try to do, and every ship from the earliest one is trying to like integrate everything, like say this was a passenger plane or RV or
Mhm.
anything like that, and you've got so much space and you want to put as much as you can into it, so you're trying to
Mhm.
like kind of like make a dashboard. You know what I mean?
Right.
you
Right.
know, so that's kind of the principle behind most interiors that I do is just try to like arrange things in a way that kind of work and make sense and leave as much room as I can for like
Mhm.
open space, I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, this one was one of them that had a cockpit, um,
Yeah.
like under one and a front one.
Right. And you could
So
click through it from the inside. You could
right,
click into it that way.
yep.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Wow, dude.
Now from
Very
here they
cool.
start getting even bigger.
Mhm. Mhm.
MX12H. This was a big one. Now I
Wow.
had a. Is this the original without the butchered thrust? No, this is the one with the butchered thrusters. It really sucks because CPU kicked in
Uh.
shortly after I made this,
Mhm.
and I had thrusters in these other locations over there and a couple more, but the CPU just wasted this ship.
I
Um,
see. I see.
and it kind of and it was really new at the time too. I swear I built it like a month or released it about a month prior. Then all of a sudden CPU kicked in, and this ship no longer like worked right at all. And it was just like I started having to like cut everything out of it, and
Well,
it was
Jay, I
depressing.
tell you, I'm a hobbyist conspiracy theory collector. Not because I think they're true, just because I like laughing. But I got a
Right.
conspiracy theory that they're going to keep changing things up because guess what? They want people changing their builds and doing this, and you know,
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
it's that's going to be eternal. I think they're going. I mean, every MMO, every computer game I've ever played, we're changing the durability of blah blah blah, or the short sword of the Yaksha is getting this change, and everybody, and
Right.
then the sword that nobody wanted is one everybody wants. So now
Yeah.
everybody's over in that zone farming this sword,
You know,
or.
it is kind of cool in a way, but once you get a lot of
Oh
a lot of
yeah,
things on the workshop,
oh yeah,
a lot of them get like murdered from this kind of stuff,
yes,
and
yes.
some are fixable, but takes a lot of time. Like the 5e was updated for all the newer changes, but
Mhm.
man, the original ship, when I first built the ship,
Mm-hmm.
it was one of those lucky ones. It was like I started laying down some blocks,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't I liked everything that was happening, and I didn't make any changes. And I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, and I had the hull of that ship done in about 45 minutes
Right.
with
Right.
blocks.
Right.
And it was just like, wow, that just came out really, really quick. But
Mm-hmm.
it literally to update it for all the changes, I think I put additional like 3 4 hours into this ship to try to get it
Yeah.
working right with CPU, and I refreshed the interior and painted it a little
Mm-hmm.
bit different and did all this other stuff to it since then.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it took more time to do all that than to build the original ship.
Well, I think the workshop needs to have a disclaimer, just a public disclaimer, like, look, some of these builds may not have been updated, so buyer beware. You may have to play with them. You may have to, because you can't be responsible for every update when you've created 162 ships.
Oh, I
You
know.
know, it's just unfair. It's an unreasonable expectation. I mean, see, when I was downloading your builds and other people's builds, and you know, when I would bring them in, there may be a small issue, but that got me into tinkering.
Yeah.
People,
All right.
people think when they go on to the workshop, it's like they're buying a car and they're going to take it home, and well, it's there. It is. It'll do everything, and there may be an updates, there may be engine adjustments. You don't know what's going on, so
Yep.
test it, tinker with it, because I'm sure you've gotten some funny responses from people on your
Oh
builds.
yeah, it happens now and then. I got yelled at by somebody on I think it was either the MX-15 or 18
Uh-huh.
that it's
Uh-huh.
like, what were you thinking? Because it has an insane amount of RCS in it. It's
Mhm.
like 300 or
Right.
about 300 RCS in it. But for a ship this size,
Back in the day, right.
back in the day, that's
Yeah.
you needed that.
Right. Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Right.
But
They
but
and the thing is they're so new they don't know. They don't know uh what's going
yeah,
on. Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm almost done with the merch. I guess I'll bring in the newest one that is on
Mhm.
the workshop up there right now.
Okay.
We're in Reforge Eden. I think you've seen this one already though. It was in the challenge too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nice.
But you can kind of see a progression. Like the
Yeah.
MX-18 was the early build, and then
Yeah.
you like the MX-3 was in there, and then it kind of I think it went to the MX-5 after that. But yeah, it was kind of I with these ships, it's kind of like I'm in third generation color painting now.
Mhm.
First generation was gray, second gen was kind of this kind of lighter, like
Mhm.
almost a white and dark. And then the next one, I kind of toned it down to mix them in between, like the gray and the whites,
Mhm.
and just kind of like a little bit softer blend, I guess you could say, on the overalls.
Now the purpose of this was it was a hauler. It was for hauling, wasn't it?
Troop transport
Mhm.
hauler. Yep, yep.
Okay.
We got
Gotcha.
232K storage, and then 12
Nice.
passenger seats, and then crafting, and you do have the you can dock a really small something in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Little
actually I built
HV.
one thing that can work for it, but yeah, it's got to be pretty dinky.
Oh wow. Very cool, man.
Yeah, that's it's what I was missing, honestly. It was a while since I did like SVs and stuff like that, and I was really missing the kind of interiors you can do on these things,
Right.
with a higher block
That's
detail and
way
stuff like
cool.
that.
Oh man, plenty of seats.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah, you're gonna take some folks to do some business in this thing. Damn right.
worried about this build too. It was a bunch of time, building it, and
Mm-hmm.
I know how things are in the game on what people want, and this being a role of a storage slash troop transport.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if people were gonna like, oh, well, what are you gonna do with that? And it's I was a little concerned about like building this kind of thing, so it was
Mm-hmm.
making me a little worried. But I think people like it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's I can't say it's like the most functional in-game thing, but
I think they ought to up the storage on the container controllers and the containers. I think they should hold a little bit more.
I
Just
do too.
when I played first season on Anvil, I had a little SV that I really loved, and it had 232Ks in it, and I thought I was a big deal, you know. And then I went from my solar space base to my planet base to haul some hydrogen bottles.
Yeah.
Forget about it. I
Right.
brought enough hydrogen bottles back to the base to make what 160 promethium hydrocells. Whoopee! You know, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
man, this, so my thoughts of an SV cargo ship quickly evaporated unless you've got like 10 container controllers in it or something. It was just like, it's kind of like, man, anticlimactic. Oh
Yep.
wow, that's nice.
Uh, a few years back, a couple
Mhm.
years back, Crazy Z and we for like an April Fool's thing.
Mhm.
The thing was, he went and made a Merc, and I made something like based on his styling.
Mhm.
Crazy Z styling, like a luxury
Right.
sports kind of ship, and so I ended up coming up with this one, the
Nice.
MLV Intrepid. So it's and named according to his stuff too. But
Mhm.
to be honest, this was one of the most fun builds I ever had. I remember it was
That's
so fun.
cool.
Like at texturing and stuff, it can get really monotonous.
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason, I didn't find this one that way. Probably
Right.
because of the colors, especially when you get into the interior. It was
Oh
so fun
wow.
to paint this the way it was.
Yeah, I would not have called this a JRandall build. If yeah, I love the curves, man. Very
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah. I was just trying to go fancy, like what
Yeah.
would be fancy, with the color scheme. So it's got some wood
Nice.
grain, and it's even got like
Yeah.
little like some little tile things there, and
Yeah.
constructors on an altar.
On an altar.
It's just like,
Worship the
uh,
constructor.
yep. And then you can yeah, you get up right in the cockpit on the front there, that white area there, and
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh, oh, sorry. You
Oh
got
no,
it.
no,
Oh
no, you can
yeah.
fly it around.
Nice, man. Wow.
I don't know how it
Yeah.
does anymore. It's oh wait, I did update this with CPU. I think it should be
Yeah.
CPU good.
It's zippy, man. It's zippy.
Sure, yeah. It used to be pretty fast. It always
Yeah.
kind of being a little bit bigger. It was kind of a
Mhm.
smooth flying ship. But yeah, that
That's
was
very cool. That's very cool. I love colors though, and I like little those little subtle little glowy lookings there. That's really nice. Very
thanks,
cool.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yep, that was a fun one. So then obviously I did all these things in all these human like SVs and stuff. So I guess I'm
Mhm.
just like going through SVs right now because I realize how many different
Yeah.
SVs there are.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Here's one I never released, and this is
Okay.
the ultra cheap. This is the Merc Mini.
Nice. The mini Merc. There you go. The
Yeah.
Merc Mini.
Yep. It
Very
flies.
cool. Yep.
It it
It
got a couple
flies.
Gatling guns,
And
and I think
it's
it
yep.
has some ammo storage. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it does.
Yep. And it does it. Yes, it does. There you go. Most expensive
uh,
thing's probably the cockpit.
Yep, yep. I wouldn't doubt it.
That's
So, well,
cool.
anyway, I was doing this human stuff, like
Mhm.
pretty much all the stuff you've seen of like that I spawned so far,
Mhm.
and I didn't even think about factions early on. It was just what I was building, but
Right.
I kept on wanting to build something different, like
Mhm.
really like go go nuts and build something alien,
Mhm.
switching everything up. Hold on, I grabbed the wrong one there. Not
And
that.
Merc was really just short for mercenaries. It was Mercs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I thought about weird acronyms for that, like
Mhm.
mili- military engineered robust creations, but it just sounded stupid. So yeah, we'll just go with mercenaries.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
so this ship took a while to build because I was trying to come up with a new style,
Oh,
for a new
that's
for a
great.
new faction completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to get this one right and kept on tweaking it and dialing it in and this and that and but yeah,
Nice, man.
the good old Creel Gast.
That's
Uh,
great, dude. Oh, that's so nice.
yeah, it's really really different from the
Oh,
other ships, and
yeah.
I wanted it just to, it needed to look alien, very
Yeah.
very non-human at least.
I wonder
So
why
yeah,
non-humans have such great taste in colors. I want to be alien. See, this is
well,
great, man.
this whole texture light thing, I've seen some other authors do it. Like
Mhm.
using certain colors on that. Then they kind of glow. If you got your
Yeah.
video settings up. And
Yep.
what I actually did before that one, and it was kind of coming off the back of this that MLV Intrepid. Um, hold on a second. Let me. Where is that?
Got the
Um,
lights on. I turned the lights on just cause. Wow.
oh no, I can't find it. Well, anyway, oh, there it is, the MLV Spectral. So I was screwing around with night lighting,
Mhm.
and so I ended up retexturing this MLV Intrepid into this Tron-looking thing
Oh,
over here.
nice.
But
Wow, man.
that kind of gave me the idea of doing like the Creel texture lights.
Mhm.
After
Mhm.
playing around with this a little bit just to see what it would do.
That is
So
so cool. That is cool, man. Oh, that's nice.
yeah, fun. It definitely you definitely see it coming.
That is great, man. That's my main reason, man. I'm in space and like I'm flying around and my buddy's like, "Man, I couldn't find my ship for a minute." And I'm like, "I can always find mine." It looks like a big
Oh,
neon light.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
That's
Yep,
great.
definitely.
I love that look, man. I
Oh,
love the
thanks.
colors. Yeah, I'm just such a sucker for glowies. I love seeing
Glowies
that.
are kind of fun. I try to find a balance, and
Yeah,
like even with the Creel, I'm like I try to get some glowies on it, but I also think if you overdo a
right.
good thing, it becomes a bad thing too. So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
and then yeah, I built a couple more Creel SVs.
Mhm.
This one was a little, just a littler one, but kind of
Mhm.
funky design again, kind of weird,
Yeah.
roundish ish. I don't know.
Oh, that's nice.
Little cheaper
Very
on that one.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
See what other Creel one? Oh, the Wraith. The Wraith was the bigger Creel one. This again was one of those ships that got just hammered by CPU and
Yeah.
things. Um, but yeah, I was trying to mix up
Oh.
the
Oh, that's
design.
nice. That's very cool.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, so I definitely like building these SVs. I mean, there's been
Well,
a
they're
lot of them.
fun and you build them quicker and you get a little more gratification quicker. It's like CVs can be pretty labor intensive, man.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Especially the bigger they are.
Mm-hmm.
um, what was I? There was something
I
else I was gonna.
attempted one combat CV for a challenge. It was terrible. And then I decided I'm going to fly some other folks for a while, before I design to sit down and design what I like,
Yep.
because
No,
I've
I got
learned
you. I
so
got
much
you.
flying other people's. I've learned so much good stuff.
So
But this is
I
great.
forgot about the transport series of the
Uh-huh.
human faction here. The transits. There's actually three of
Ah.
them. There was a CH one, which is
Mm-hmm.
kind of the same ship, but it has less of these cargo like boxes on it, I guess you could say. But
Nice.
and this one, the thing I liked about it, and I haven't really done this much, and maybe I will again, but
Mm-hmm.
I liked having this like front cab on it. It just kind of felt like if you go in the
Mm-hmm.
sides and it doesn't go through the back like most of the
Oh
ships do,
yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
then yeah, it just
yeah,
kind
that
of
is
felt like
cool.
you got your
Yeah.
little area in here.
Nice.
So then there was the CH5, which is bigger and more cargo capacity. In fact, this ship has the same cargo capacity as the new Renegade.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, again, different design. I keep on trying to. That is one thing you notice that I try to do a lot is I try not to build the same thing twice. So I'm always like
Right.
trying to
Right.
come up with like different designs and
Mm-hmm.
you know this one I like the interior on this one if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was roomy, it was
Mm-hmm.
big, a lot of space, some
Mm-hmm.
passenger seats. So
Yeah, that's
it is in
nice.
some ways similar to that new ship a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Have you seen many of these other ones or
No, no.
oh okay. Yeah, cool. Cool.
Very nice. The
So
Transit
then
CH5. Very
with
cool.
SVs, I mixed it up again. Well, I
Mm-hmm.
built here I better get that in for reference.
Mm-hmm.
So there's another faction, and that is the MCRN. Obviously, that's
Yes.
uh, the Expanse.
Right.
So um,
Suffice
basically,
it to say you're an Expanse fan.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
definitely love the show. So
Gotcha.
up over here, Excalibur had a challenge to build a replica, and at the time I
Ah.
was watching the Expanse, so I decided to do the MCRN Tashi.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, this this it was like the first and only replica I've done actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
wow.
it's way bigger than the original one. Now, if this was reduced to SV size,
Mm-hmm.
it's really close to the same size dimensions as the actual ship in those
Wow.
shows. It was like I think it needed to be 46 meters.
Uh-huh.
Um, and yeah, it comes out really close to that, within a couple meters of the. But it didn't work that way, and being an SV and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously scaled way the heck up. It's a
Yeah.
pretty big ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you would say that.
But the interior too was, I mean, everything about this was a lot of fun to do because I was totally like I was doing different color scheme and different,
Mm-hmm.
mixing everything up, trying to be a little more industrialish, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
Not quite as refined, but still very engineered, um, and little bit different lighting and things like that in here too.
The light color's great. I love that amberish kind of look. It looks really good. Yeah.
This, I don't know if you
Wow.
want to tour this ship a little bit. There's quite a bit in this one to see.
This is
Oh,
crazy cool, man.
so let's go
Look at
down
the gray
first.
Oh, go down? All right. Go down.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
So over here, now this ship is really weird because it can't land on planets on its own
Mm-hmm.
because of the shape of it. So there's actually this big platform I built to land this thing. Um,
Really?
yeah, I had to get that in too. For here, let me put that over here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the list is long.
Yes, I would imagine so. I bet you, yeah, you've got a few.
Okay, well there's this thing here. I hope it doesn't fall on the ground here. I know the ground's screwed up, so
Yeah,
um,
it's kind of weird, isn't it?
yeah. You see me over there in this wacky thing?
I'm looking for you. Are you to the
No,
left?
just go forward of the Tashi.
Oh, no, that's not it. Is it the Corvette class
Yeah.
MCRN there? Oh, wow. Okay.
So this basically is this
Mm-hmm.
landing platform. Let's see if I can still do this. Been a little bit. I'm gonna try to dock this thing to in a minute.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You got to get in a special cockpit in it
Uh-huh.
to see, and then you kind of use the indicators to line it up. And this basically was kind of like what was done with the Helios,
Right.
kind of the early idea of the same type of docking, I guess, in
Uh-huh.
one way or
Uh-huh.
another. I think you had to come up a little bit high and then drop.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'm not. I don't think I'm all the way up. Maybe I am.
Yeah, yeah, I think, yeah. You just done
Oh
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that should be how it works. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting where these like the rear landing gear are on,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like they kind of sits like down below that.
Right,
And
right.
so yeah.
You've got the high docking pads there. Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that was a fun little piece of engineering there too. Oh, and oh yeah, the switches here. Not only that, find the switch. Did I put that? There it is. Okay, landing mode. So basically, if you
Mm-hmm.
notice these ramp doors will, if you're perfectly lined up, if you get to the ramps,
Mm-hmm.
you can drive HVs up into the ship using those platforms there.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to find it. Hold on a second. Is it in the back or in the front?
On the sides of the
On the
landing
side.
platform.
Oh, I
Those
see. Oh,
the
that's
big ramps.
cool.
So yeah, then
Yeah.
they'll line up to these other ramp doors,
Right, right.
and then you can drive in HVs.
Oh, that's the bomb, dude. That's great. That all lines up. That's great, man. That is great.
This is one of those big projects doing this ship with the
Yeah.
landing thing, and yeah, but
That's amazing, dude. That is amazing. Wow.
had a lot of fun with these. Well,
Yeah.
so I did these two MCRN things, and they obviously kind of go together. But
Yeah.
then after that, it was just like people like that, and so I started building, like I wanted to use that color
Mm-hmm.
scheme more,
Mm-hmm.
because I just thought it was really cool,
Right.
and so I kept on building more MCRN things, doing that same color scheme. Let
Mm-hmm.
me. Um,
That's cool.
so I had a like here's I wonder if this
Uh-huh.
will fly or not. So do you see me yet?
I thought I saw a flash. I'm above.
I'm right on the side of the Tachi. I can actually
Oh,
hear.
okay. I see it. I see it. I got you.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, I was
Oh,
building
nice.
some different SVs for this race again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now this Talon T2, this was built when they introduced CPU and we're playing with flight model, and it changed how it flew a bunch of different times and then
Uh-huh.
got really slow. So that's
Uh-huh.
kind of where it
Uh-huh.
sits now, and I think it's just a very slow flying craft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then there's this other guy over here. This was a storage SV.
Okay.
Kind of trying to do the MCRN color stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's kind of I called it a skiv because they have the skivs in the show, but this
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like built after that particular skiv. But
Right.
yeah.
Very cool. Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of like a bus, you know. It's just
Yeah.
this big long thing. It's got a lot of buttons and switches. I used to
Mm-hmm.
really like to do that and put in these levers and switches, and but yeah, there's a lot of this stuff. It just doesn't. I don't know.
Huh. Cool.
Oh yeah, gotta have a drone
Yeah.
hatch.
That's right, buddy. The drone hatch.
Yep.
Very cool. I like the front end of it. I like the where it's kind of a facing down. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like the visibility when you got a like that when you're flying something like this. Well, this one
Mm-hmm.
I guess blocks some of the bottom view, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost wondering that shouldn't have been glass down there now.
Yeah. Of course,
Anyway,
mine would
yeah,
just get shot out anyway. So.
yep. Oh, I gotcha. Yep. Well, then
Marauder.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's the this other one. This other one was about being hardened steel and a little bit more
Oh wow.
combat-y,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's suffering from performance problems. So the thrusters
Right.
aren't, especially in Reforge Eden, and these things weren't made for it. But um, and then there was this other project with this MCRN Condor and T-Rex built. Hold on, I should get that here too.
That's a cool walk up though. That's great. The big feet on it. The condor.
Yep, yep.
Yeah. I like how you're building
I didn't
walk
know what to
ups.
call MCR and stuff. I wanted to keep their names different than that of the human stuff at the
Mm-hmm.
time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm looking at SVs. It was an HV. One sec here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for 12. Yeah. So this one will fall probably in the ground, but so T-Rex built this tank
Uh-huh.
to and this thing is a HV mover, but set up for top mounting. So when you come in here, you notice you got these LCD display indicators again,
Bye.
and then you park up on it, and then and then obviously you walk up these ramps to get back in the Condor, up the legs, and then
Mm-hmm.
into the interior, and it was is a HV mover.
Right, right.
Yeah, so that's what all that was about.
But I want to look at the HV. I want to. It fell.
Oh, it did fall. Oh, you can still see it underground.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this was by T-Rex.
Nice. So he built this one, huh?
He did. Let me.
Yeah.
Seems like the lights are. Oh, the lights aren't on. There it goes.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yep. Well, he had a rough time to build it though because of the specifications on how it had to fit to the other ship. You know, it could
Mm-hmm.
only be that wide. It could only be that
Right,
tall. You know, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like
right.
I don't know, early like module practice, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Like trying to figure out how one thing can
Well, I
dock to
mean,
another thing, and
there everybody's rehashing stuff. It's okay. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
things go in and out of style. Dude, it wouldn't surprise me drone hatches come in tomorrow. I mean, I mean, it wouldn't. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, drone hatches are back. So very cool. All right. Now I'm saying this for your benefit. Okay, it's 7 p.m. my time. I'm not
Right.
saying we gotta quit. I'm
I,
having a
I
good time. I'm having a good time. When we communicated, you had kind of exclaimed to me. You're like, well, I got things that I need to do. I want to
oh
respect
I,
that.
I do have to break off in about a half hour.
Okay,
Now,
okay.
it's
Well,
about 7:30, but yeah.
okay. Then let's keep on rolling, brother. Because I wanted to. I've been watching time for you, just because I don't want you to
Oh,
miss
gotcha.
whatever. So you know. All right.
Right. So yeah, I've been besides a couple CVs here, this has mostly been all SVs yet. And
Hmm.
you know what? There's still more. There's just
Yeah, I know there.
it's
I
just
know there's more.
it's all crazy. It's like
I
there's
know
just
there's
so many of
more.
these things. Um man. Oh, I forgot one of the oldies. I forgot an oldie here. Oh,
Okay.
on it
Are
right
you
here.
back
The
at the? Are you back at the? Are you
No,
still
no,
here?
I'm still right
Okay.
here.
All
Yeah.
right.
I see that you probably see the Chimera up a little bit from you.
Okay. Up here.
See it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, that was one of the early SVs, and it was the only one I cheated
Gotcha.
on. It's the only one that has buried thrusters,
I
and it
see.
does. Yeah, and these big front arms here. You notice how you see no reverse
Mm-hmm.
thrust or anything? It's because they're
Mm-hmm.
buried inside the front arms. Now, some of the
Mm-hmm.
thrusters are exposed, but yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I cheated. But a lot of people were at the time. But then later on, there was this rumor that you know that wasn't going to work.
Right.
And you had to have thrusters. Like visible, or at least like I heard like six blocks in between,
Mm-hmm.
like vacant spot on the
To
thrusters.
work.
But
Right. Right.
yeah, that was an oldie there.
Yeah.
So then, let's see, getting over to yet another faction. Then I started with Scar,
Uh-huh.
and Scar was the desire that I wanted to make, like mix it up again and do like a grungy,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of almost like a Mad Max kind of,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
race.
Right.
So actually, with this, I probably should do the proto here. Let me get that in a second. Man, my lists in here are so darn long now.
I
And
can
I still have a
imagine.
lot of other stuff and bring it into
Mm-hmm.
like my thing too. So I'm seeing other people's creations in the mix here. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, there it is. So this was another one of those like inventing style, and it was
Mm-hmm.
the Scar Raider.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Was the first Scar thing I did, and it was again trying to like figure out the look.
Mm-hmm.
Like what kind of textures to use, what kinds of lights, you know. And a big thing, and I have a little problems with like the OCD part of it is the very grungy like base texture I used on the
Mm-hmm.
Scar. Takes a little bit for me to get used to because I know there's like these seam lines and stuff that totally don't line up to anything, and
Right.
it bugs me that they don't. And I try to do that with like all the other stuff, but with the Scar,
Nah.
couldn't,
No
couldn't
worries.
do it. You just had to deal with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was a fun ship to build. I didn't care much about CPU or anything when I was
Yeah.
building it. It was just like I want to build something new. Darn it, something
I
a
remember
different look
spawning
and
this in
feel.
creative. I remember spawning in this in creative and drooling over it, but at the time I couldn't afford to bring it in. I was
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
sad.
Well,
You know.
this thing has a lot of guns on it, so it's
Yeah.
probably pretty expensive, I'm sure. But
Season
yeah,
one, I
yeah,
think somebody brought in a Reforged Eden version of this. It's very cool.
yep, yeah. Actually, yeah. There's a couple. There's at least one Reforged Eden version. I think Vermilion actually did it or
Oh
converted this
wow,
over to Reforged.
wow,
So yeah,
very
I had fun with
nice.
this one. It was
Yeah.
like, again, it's fun to like mix things up. Like if you
Mhm.
build like the same style every time, it does get old, and then you start
Mhm.
to get cheaper on it. But when you're trying to like come up with a new style and look and everything, it's like
Mhm.
it's kind of fun
Wow.
time on that.
Scar
But
Red.
yeah, that scar thing led to. God, do you think it's time to go into space?
It's up to you, brother. Up to space we go. I'll
All
go
right,
right
yeah,
on.
I'm gonna
Yep.
go straight up from where we
Yep.
are
Me
here.
too. Me too. All right.
Yeah, let me spawn something. So right after that,
Mhm.
this would be another. This would be a base. I
Hold
wanted
on
to
just
do
a
a base,
second.
but
I'm
I
gonna go
so
map
enjoyed.
and TT so I can get right to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. And then map. And then okay. There we go. Boom. All right. Now I'm right with you.
Okay,
Ah, there we
cool.
go.
This was the Scar base, doing the
Yeah.
same look, but
Yeah.
it doesn't move. But I wanted it to look like it was, a
Right.
tracked
Right.
thing. So yeah, it's a production base. So
Man. That's cool.
yeah, I want to build something like this again someday.
Mhm.
It was kind of a lot of fun to do on this. But yeah, it's set up. It didn't come with a lot of production, but you added in later, so it's
Mhm.
basically you got
Mhm.
a bunch of room for constructors or and then
Right.
furnaces, and then deconstructors, and then all these storage things everywhere and everything else, and then a farm
Nice.
upstairs.
Very
But
cool.
one
Oh
feature
yeah.
I had the most fun with on this is it's a weird styling thing. I'll try to highlight it from the top,
Hold
but
on just a second.
it's
Let me get to you. I just went up to look upstairs real quick.
oh yeah,
I'm
cool,
down in the
cool.
bay. I'm down in the storage bay area again.
Oh yeah, if you just come outside a second
Oh,
and
okay.
kind of like fly up above the ship, what I did is I
Gotcha.
tried to make this look like it was joined, like you had this front section on
Mhm.
tracks, and then it would maybe even potentially swivel a little bit in the middle,
Oh yeah.
and then there's
Yeah.
a rear section. But what was fun, so I cut into it really hard going across the top here, like kind of like, but then when you like take that walk path
Mhm.
from like the front cabin, you actually go to like outdoor air to get back
Right.
into the other one, which it was, I think it was trying to sell that thing like this is like linked together, like it's a
Right.
separate thing, and
Gotcha.
uh,
Kind of articulates in the middle, and you got to walk through some air to get to the other part of it.
yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all kinds of space. Got to have your
Yeah.
little chill out area here
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah. Man, this is great. A base that looks like a sand crawler.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's like these ideas, when you can think up something like that.
Yeah.
That's what's really fun. Kind of break up the norm. And
Yeah.
I really do try to put a lot of thought, especially now. Especially like a new build now. I'm more picky about my own stuff than I ever been before, and like a lot
Mhm.
of the things I try, I trash before I go too far with them. And it's
I
just like
see.
I try to, I want to keep on trying to find something like new and fresh. After you built so many things, it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't want to like build one thing and say, oh, this thing's kind of like that other thing that I already did before. So it makes it kind of rough. You keep on
Mm-hmm.
trying to push out different ways, I guess.
Man, if we could put treads on this thing and they worked,
Oh,
and it wouldn't have to go fast.
right,
What,
right. Yeah, you could put it,
10
especially on
meters a
some.
second? You're going across some desert planet. That would be so awesome.
Oh
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be
That
great.
definitely, yeah. That could be
Man,
some interesting game function there.
yeah, that would be awesome.
So
They
then,
just forsaken wheels and tracks. Wheels and tracks just in the 25th century. Yeah, no wheels, no tracks, right?
right,
Yeah.
right. I know. So then, of
Ah,
course, with the Scar, I had to make SVs for them too. Trying to do the whole faction
I
thingy.
flew this. I flew this
Oh,
in my vanilla game.
oh, you did?
Yeah, wasn't
Oh
this
yeah. Oh,
wasn't this a
yep, yep.
vanilla version first? Yeah,
Yeah, there
I
was.
flew it.
And in
I
fact,
flew it.
I don't even think I made this reforged version. I think this is someone else's
Mhm.
conversion of it.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. I love this ship.
they did cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it
love
was
this
it
ship.
was fun. It was supposed to be tough.
Mhm.
For that kind of ship and whatnot.
Oh, this SV in particular really spoke to me because I got tired of riding in the front of SVs and getting blowed the shit out of.
Oh,
And my
right.
cockpit goes, and I'm like, this guy's got one in the back. Whoa, look here.
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, it's
So
way in back
it
too.
was
Yeah,
in the back,
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was just like, best idea ever. Be in the back, right?
Honestly, I seen Excalibur do that a lot. I
yeah,
played with it on two other
right.
Merc ships before the MX-14 and the MXR prototype. It
Mhm.
was like having a cockpit back thing, which is it's
Mhm.
a weird styling thing to pull off. I mean, it's
Mhm.
because most aircraft and everything that we see, they never have like
Right.
their cockpit and back. So it's
No.
just it's weird.
Right.
Um, so then I had fun. Obviously, Star Wars
Oh
inspired on this
yeah.
one, and yeah, just built this weird kind of combo fighter miner.
Yeah.
Um, called it the Dominator.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fairly fun on that one too.
That's
Again, trying
cool.
to trying to mix it up on how these things look each time. Um,
That's way cool. I'm gonna sit down here and just. Oh yeah.
yeah, I do like the cockpit view because you kind of get that Tie Fighter
Yeah,
feel.
it really looks. Yeah, it really feels Tie Fighter. Definitely. Nice.
Well, then
That is so cool.
Excalibur seems to like this the Scar Tick lot, which is their like starter SV for the faction. Little bugger. I
Let's
used it in game
see.
though. It works for what it is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Gotta have
built
the
this.
fridge. Dang right. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
you gotta have a fridge.
Yeah, man. 5 CPU. What are you talking about?
So
Put a fridge on that thing. Exactly.
then there was this.
Nice.
I think it was a SV mover challenge later, one of Excalibur's challenge, and ended up doing this Skyrunner or the Scar Skyrunner thing, which was
Yeah.
a weird asymmetrical thing. So it's
Yep.
like both sides are different.
Yep.
They're, but they're similar. I mean, they're not so different that they don't look like they fit together. But yeah, they are different. This one I like the cab area on this one too because it's just weird how it works. It's like you gotta.
I used this to haul my ballista around.
Oh, nice. Oh, Empyrion. Nice, nice.
Dude, this is so awesome. This is great, man. Seeing this stuff, I'm like, I use this, I use that, I use
Oh, nice,
that.
nice.
Very cool. Oh yeah.
It works. It
Oh,
was made
dude.
to move some HVs around, and it's got a big
Well,
landing deck.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was told by somebody that some planets are designed to catch HVs. I don't know if it's true, but a lot
Catch.
of the like the bare metal planets got these deep crevices that go
Oh,
way down, and there's all these different planets. I think in the Legacy home world there's the same crevices, but if you got this, you can fly over those and get to your target.
yeah, that is true.
It creates a.
And actually, yeah, with one of Excalibur's streams that we were doing, I had that new tank,
Hmm.
and I fell in the deepest crevice
Oh, dude,
I ever seen.
yeah,
That thing was
it's
buried. There was
ridiculous.
no getting it out of there.
It's ridiculous. But the thing is, I used the Sky Runner to get my tank over stuff on a planet in when I was playing single player. I
Oh,
used it
nice,
exactly
nice.
for that, you know. So yeah, that's way cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So then I've
Oh
got an
yeah.
unreleased one that maybe I should release it someday. I think it.
Hmm.
I'll have to go over the CPU specs on it, and I want to get a heavy shield in it. But yeah, that this was
Oh,
the Venom,
nice.
and this one was all based around a primary weapon of having 11
Yeah.
plasma launchers staggered in position,
Yeah.
so that like one would be in front of another one. So the idea was
Drill a
where
hole. Hmm.
yeah, it does
Yeah.
like this like stream thing of those
Yeah.
11 launchers. But I mean, that hits pretty hard. I mean,
And you
it
get
does.
staggered block damage. Each projectile
Yeah,
would hit different at a different time, which could drill a hole a lot better. Yeah, that's
that,
great.
that was the thinking behind it. Whether that
Yeah.
actually works, I don't exactly know, but it does make holes in walls pretty good.
Matt, my buddy
uh,
Matt CZ seems to think so. He did staggered on one of his combat CVs I flew,
okay.
and did some heavy testing with it. But this is awesome. The wing work you did, incorporating the wings in the oval shape on the front.
It was
Very nice. I've not seen that before ever. Using the
it was
wings as
different. Yeah,
part of it.
just basically it always that quest to mix things up, to try to,
Yeah.
like,
Let me turn
mostly
this
sold you
off so
just
the guys can see.
SVs today, but like each one is there's a couple that I guess would be kind of similar looking, but yeah, I could keep on trying to like always try something new,
My sadness
original.
is the wings don't seem to contribute when it says put these wings on and it'll aid you in flying around. Not so
Oh no,
much.
all that does is make your
It's
ship heavier and way more.
it's they
I
need
haven't
to
found
tune it
it.
up. They need to bump up that. They need to make the wings more useful because yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it looks really good. This ship is really cool.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah,
thanks.
man. And it's not released, huh?
No, no, I do not have that one
Wow.
released. I've
Wow.
got, some other ships too. See,
Now,
there's a few. I was planning on a lot of
if you wanted to let the if you wanted to leave this on the creative server, people could come up and take a snapshot. I'm just letting you know. If
Oh,
you
right,
don't want,
right.
if you may want to destroy it. I'm just saying.
Oh no,
If
yeah,
okay,
no, I have no problem with that. I mean, it's
okay.
yeah.
Nobody here would. I mean, they would probably like this. Is really cool. This is a very cool build. The wings,
But
like I said, what you did with the wings was really awesome. All right.
So this one's
Ah.
also not released, and it's
Uh-huh.
not finished actually. I don't have the interior on it, but you see what
Mm-hmm.
happened to me with these Scar ships is I started building a bunch of these SVs, and then I was just finding that the SVs were so worthless in game that
Yeah.
I got totally discouraged on doing them.
Yeah.
And then I was
Yeah.
trying, with Reforged Eden coming out, I was trying it, with the different kinds of weapons and stuff you could do.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I don't believe they had the bomb launchers when I did these, but
Right. Right.
I was just trying to come up with something. But I was trying to build ships that sort of look nice, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's like, well, what are they going to do then? And so
Yeah.
I got really discouraged there for a little while on all these SB things and stuff,
Man,
and
if they
it,
put a clone chamber on SVs, and in my opinion, they ought to make detectors as long range as CVs, and I mean the big detector. I think
yeah.
SVs should be the short range explorer, so you don't have to risk your CV everywhere. You go into a sector, you get in your
Yeah.
SV, you warp around in your SV, and you use your detector to find shit that you
Oh,
want to either mine or kill. You know.
SVs and Reforged Eden do have the long range radar.
Well, they're long range, but it measures out to the short range of the CV. I would
Okay.
I would want I would I would feel comfortable with them having the big detector from a CV. To me, that would make them so much valuable as an exploratory vehicle within a system. Does that make sense? Giving
Uh,
them but people be like, that's so OP, and then I'd be like, well, it's an SV, bro. You know,
oh,
you got to give it
when I used to
something.
play the game, when I was attacking POIs, my main way of doing that was SVs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the POIs didn't have shields.
Right.
Either did the SVs, but it was uh, you could a lot of the fire coming off from the POIs. If you had a fast enough SV, you could kind of dodge and
Mm-hmm.
avoid it, and then kind
Mm-hmm.
of like zero in and aim at their turrets and systematically take them out, and it
Right.
worked. But
Right.
then all of a sudden, it was just like, oh man, your SVs are getting blown up way too
Yes.
easy, and
Yes.
and now they got
Yes.
shields, so it's like, man, you got no way
Oh
with the
yeah.
weapon limits to bring down a shield on a like shielded base with an SV, and it
Yeah.
was just ugh. wasn't
That's a
wasn't liking
great
it. This
look.
is another unfinished, unreleased
Yeah.
ship here. Um,
That's a great look though.
I like the looks of it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the problem I've got, and I suppose I have the same problem with that new Merc Renegade too. Is
Mhm.
it's their function. Like
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
are you really going to want to spawn this in and like take on things with it, or are you going to go for an
Yeah.
HV or a CV or something else? And as in storage, they don't,
Yeah.
even if you put in a ton of storage for an SV, which is
Yeah.
like when you get 64K storage, it's a lot
Yeah.
of storage for an SV,
Yeah.
and it's still, I mean, you could very quickly and probably way cheaper build a CV with 320K
Yes.
storage that's
Yes.
dinky and use that instead.
You're preaching
You
in a
know,
choir. You're preaching
yeah,
in a choir. I agree. And
yeah,
I'm look, it sounds like there's going to be some thruster changes. I don't know if making an SV faster is really going to ultimately, from what I understand, in the scenario, there's just no way to put a clone chamber in this Reforged Eden scenario. There's no way to put
oh,
a bigger detector on it.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
But like I said, man, an SV should be a fast exploratory vehicle, should be able to detect things on par with the longest range of anything else because what else does it got? You know, and
yeah. Well,
and in
that's
multiplay, if you go into a planet, at least we've experienced it on our server, if you have a number of SVs, HVs docked to your CV and you go into atmosphere, they'll just randomly undock somewhere.
yeah,
Yeah, they'll just leave the ship, and that's
right.
that's hilarious on a 3G planet. I recently found out a couple of weeks ago. It's hilarious to get that thing
Oh,
back in the ship when it's randomly dumped out in a crevice on a 3G planet. So,
yeah.
oh wow,
So this is a POI I made. I think this is in the game now. I know it's in Reforged. Um, meant
Wow.
to sit on the ground, obviously. So that's what and use the actual terrain.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but yeah, this is a big like POI. You got to hit the 4 switches
Mm-hmm.
throughout. All kinds of stuff spawns in.
Oh, I don't want to give it away to the folks. I don't want to. I want to leave some magic.
Oh,
Let them
right.
enjoy.
Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah,
go through it or
yeah.
anything. But yeah,
I
it's
try. I don't want to spoiler it all for them. They're
yeah.
gonna have to go inside. But I'm giving it a thorough look around the outside. That
Oh
is
yeah.
very nice.
I had fun with the not like the inside of the building, but the outside, but within the walls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
That was
bet.
fun with these setting up like little shops,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of like a little commercial area. So you got like
Now they're under the pirate faction. Is that which the Scar faction is? What
I
faction?
I I think so.
Okay.
I don't exactly know.
Okay. I'm just wondering because my big thing in the game is everybody I can make friends with, I try to make friends with. Just because that's what I'd do if I was living in the 25th century. Why maximize your enemies? you know?
Uh,
And if you had shops in there, that would be so cool to just be able to walk in and nice crane. Oh, that's cool.
yep,
Very cool.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, how could I make this look industrial? And
It does look good.
here and there at night too, I'll like turn on like YouTube or watch some different documentaries on
Hmm.
various things. A lot of times, construction projects or
Yeah. Oh
space
yeah.
stuff or just a bunch of stuff. And I
Yeah.
was watching some stuff on these big tall buildings and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, they use a lot of these kind of like side mount cranes and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Why don't I try that? Building like a POI. I wouldn't want to do this with like a player base because it's totally wasteful, for
Hmm. Hmm.
resources,
Right.
for something like this. But yeah, this was a full attempt at trying to look pretty industrial, but within the same texture and color scheme as Scar.
Wow. That's great. Man, I got to go out to Scar Space now, or wherever Scar's located. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, with our travels in the game, I haven't yet come across a single POI that like I might
Okay.
have in there. There's some Creel ones too. There's quite a few Creel
See, I
POIs.
want to go to Krill Space real bad. I'm at this point now. I got this big honking CV, and I want to do some traveling. I may talk my running buddy into going to Krill Space. We're neutral faction. I think that'll keep us from getting our ass kicked or having to kick everybody's ass and become hostile. And I just want to go and look at the POIs.
Yep.
I just, dude, half of the fun in my game is looking at everybody's awesome work.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's really cool when you touch down to a new POI and you get to run it.
oh yeah,
After you
yeah.
do it a few times, it gets a little
Right, right.
old like anything else. But
I'd go
you
to
want to?
Tesh Space. I'd go to Tesh Space, but man, a Scarly's all his POIs are so tough. They kick the crap. They're just
Oh, right.
they. Scarly builds a tough POI.
See,
But he's beautiful. They're beautiful.
oh yeah, yeah.
You know.
Well, like with the Scar one here,
Mhm.
it's I wanted it to play more like a regular first person shooter game, like a
Mhm.
Far Cry game or something like that. So
Right.
it's got like mostly just it doesn't have any like super tough enemies in it, but there's quite a
Right.
few of them, and like snipers and shotgun guys and this and
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
And so, but you're running through these hallways. You can, there's 3 different ways to get in this place, so you don't
Mhm.
have to follow a preset course. You kind
Right.
of do going up the tower though, which is like a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, and it's got a couple little secrets in there and stuff, and it was just, yeah, it was
Mhm.
a lot of fun to make that. So I got to
Very
go
cool.
pretty soon, but
Yeah.
one last thing. Now
Yes,
this
sir.
this this is brand new,
Mhm.
and no one's seen this yet,
All nice and exclusive.
but it's not done yet either.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
it's a work in progress, and this is a real hybrid concept ship.
Oh
For
wow.
now, first of all, it doesn't when it actually comes into the game. When you actually
Mm-hmm.
spawn it, it's not going to have any of these thrusters. There's
Right.
I'll have these mesh things over where the thrusters
Sure.
are supposed to be, and it's not going to have the miners in it either. So
Mm-hmm.
no thrusters, no miners. Um, uh, and basically what it is, and because of that, and it won't have near as many like turrets and stuff on
Mm-hmm.
on it either. So it'll be stripped down a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a player starter base, but it's actually a CV.
Right. Right. A CV
So
starter. Mm-hmm.
so you spawn this, you use it right away as a like
Yep.
a starter base production base, and then when you get the resources,
Mm-hmm.
you add thrusters, and there'll be this whole like thing in here on
Oh,
what
I
to do to
see.
upgrade it to
Right.
the first year. The first year would be like to add in a bunch of thrusters and probably some CPU blocks, and then
So
would
you
have
can fly it.
a
Mm-hmm.
shield,
Mm-hmm.
uh, generators, all kinds of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then but it doesn't end there. So
Right.
once you like upgrade it to a certain part, I mean, like this is like your starter base, but
Mm-hmm.
you actually now it's your CV. Now it's your starter
Right.
CV. So
Right.
now you start adding these other parts for the CVs, shields and warp, and whatever else you want. And then you upgrade it again, and that's where these front mining drills are. So then
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to add like 6 CV
Right.
mining things to it. So then you can use it as your CV miner. I
Right.
only went with 6 on the layout because that's the normal like vanilla limit too.
Right.
And it was really hard to squeeze any more in this. but
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but on top of all that, it's a Helios module. The whole thing.
Exactly. So you'll
It,
use it the whole space of the game. You'll use it all
right.
the way through, and I guess use it to help bring the Helios in, and then park it on the Helios. I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
aligns right up to the Helios dock base. That's why the front end's the
Nice.
way it is.
Yep.
But I had to squeeze these drills in on the same side because I got the hangar door on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to recess those drills a lot so they didn't stick out. I know they retract, but the blocks don't actually retract, so I couldn't like.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, but yeah, like huge upgradable, and then it's got a
Mm-hmm.
little farm in it. And I don't have like the bridge area
Mm-hmm.
done or the farm
Right.
done.
Right.
But yeah, I was just working on this actually, but before this video here, trying to get this.
Nice, dude. That's a great idea. Something that
I
you can use the whole evolution of what you're bringing in. Definitely.
Yep. I'm trying to. Basically I realized that I'm missing a couple things. Like right now, it doesn't have an ammo bay,
Uh-huh.
so I'm gonna have
Uh-huh.
to try to incorporate that somewhere along in the hangar here. And then I'm setting it up for a repair bay that you could add in if you wanted.
Right.
Another
Right.
part would be a long range radar. Um, God, what else? Oh, I think I might set up a spot in here somewhere for a teleporter. Then I got to set
Mm-hmm.
up the core room
Mm-hmm.
where you're going to put all the core blocks and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but basically it's a base.
That's
But
cool.
once you strip all the thrusters and the even the pilot seat. I mean, it won't even come with the with the
Mm-hmm.
captain's pilot seat.
Right. Right.
And you take it down to one tiny little generator or a couple of those little dinky generators
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of little dinky fuel tanks. It unlocks at player level 7, and it's going to have about a
Nice.
2-hour build time, and it likes mostly iron and carbon. Um,
Nice. Nice.
but then you just keep adding
Yeah,
more
you
and
keep
more and more.
salvaging and putting stuff on it, and then boom, you got your starter CV. Then boom, you got your miner. Then boom,
Yep.
yeah, you got the stuff for your Helios. You keep adding to your factory. That's
Right,
great.
right.
That's
So yeah,
great.
the whole idea was not to waste like anything. Like it might be a little
Yeah.
bit more expensive than some other starter bases off the gates, but
Hmm.
it's your starter CV.
Right.
It's it's a CV miner, and it's a module.
Right. Right.
So,
Well, that's
but
great, man.
and you could put in way smaller thrusters off the gates too. I got it. It's set up for these large thrusters, and it's actually got four lift thrusters like that too. So it could probably it's got the four 320K storage in there.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking that should be able to work pretty good with 4 large lift thrusters.
Hmm. Hmm.
especially with the thruster configuration on it right now. It's really fast.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
It's almost like I need to turn down the roll. It's so fast right
That's
now.
good.
But
That's good. Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Well, listen, I guess we're going to stop here. It's 6:35 for you, I'm assuming, or it's something
yep, it is.
35.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully. Uh, I know we've got about 8 viewers because I don't ever announce these builders, but people kind of trickle in. I got a few folks that watch every now and again, but hopefully, if you're still interested in going a little farther with this, I'd love to do more of this.
Oh yeah.
Okay? All
Yeah.
right?
We can do this another time. Hit me up
Okay.
sometime.
Well, I will put this and put it on the little YouTube channel I got. I'm going to call this part one. Let's hope for part two. We'll put that there
Oh yeah, yeah.
and we'll leave it like that.
We can do a part two.
We got a
you know,
long way to slide, so
yeah.
it's you
I mean,
don't have we
there's a
don't have to
lot more
burn it.
stuff.
Listen, we don't have to burn one every week. We can burn one every. Like I said, my rules, my show. We do it whenever the hell we want. Okay, so I'll give you a message. You're like, okay, let's do this in a couple 3 weeks, or we'll do it this, whatever. But I don't want to make this a drag for you, and I know folks want to watch this. So, man, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to be closing out the stream, and so I can download this and put this on YouTube. Uh, Jay's got to go, but thanks for watching, and I am out of here. Later, guys.